Greetings and salutations, people of the internet. This is Master RBG. And you know what? We review an awful lot of indie games on this channel. Indie games from all across the world. Australia, Japan, Mexico that one time, that was weird. And a frankly shocking number of games from the various Nordic countries. You know, like Finland and Norway and what have you. Really, I'm as surprised as you how many we've actually reviewed from that part of the world. But you know what we haven't reviewed in a long time? A game from our friendly neighbors to the north, Canada. Hey Canada, what have you got for me today? Ah yes, an offering from our good friends at 13 AM Games, Double Cross. Wait a minute, Double Cross? Betrayal! Skullduggery! It's afoot, I tell you! I would never suspect this, and from Canada of all places! Well, we shall have to look into this further. Ladies and gentlemen, today I shall be reviewing Double Cross to see exactly what is going on here. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm literally only a couple of seconds in here, and I already can see that there's a fun option in the options menu. So, I gotta ask, getting over it with Bennett Foddy, Dark Souls, where's this option? Huh? How come you guys don't have this? Guys are officially on notice. Just saying. In a world full of multiverse travel nonsense, there's a group that polices travel between the various universes called Rift. And of course our game centers around one particular up-and-coming recruit, Zara Sinclair, our adorable protagonist of this game, who just got finished with a particularly interesting mission with the fellow over there on the right, but we're not going to talk too much about that right now, because we have bigger issues. Zara was about to receive her next assignment from the Commissioner when all of a sudden the unthinkable happened. A group of criminals had broken into Rift headquarters, and all heck was breaking loose with the security systems. Not only this, but apparently they planned on stealing a very dangerous piece of tech from the base itself. Amid a variety of platforming shenanigans, which, by the way, who exactly designed headquarters here anyway? Oh well, that's a question for another day. Anywho, amid a bunch of platforming challenges within the base itself, Zara finds several different pieces of evidence to be considered for future detective work. Of course, obviously, she doesn't have time for it right this moment, because she has to deal with Tall, Dark, and Sinister over here. This masked fellow is the brains behind this whole criminal operation currently going down at headquarters. And apparently, because of his intricate knowledge of the base and everything, it is assumed that he must be a traitor from within inside the organization. Sorry about the lengthy exposition dump there, folks, but I kinda need to get the story across as quickly as possible with as few spoilers as possible to get the rest of this video set up. So yeah, we're done with the setup now. Don't worry, no more exposition. Back to the actual gameplay. Okay, so the very next thing we get presented with is how we do investigations in the game, where basically we take 3 or more pieces of evidence, show them to the various experts at our home base, let them examine them, let them extract whatever useful information they can out of it, and then once you've gathered all the information on all the items you've collected, then you present it to the Commissioner. And that's the short version of it. So, once we've done this with the evidence we collected while under attack, we are then sent off to try and bring down the criminals that stole from HQ. Okay, so our first stop is the Thunderdome. I actually had 3 different options for what to pick, but, I mean, come on, I love Thunderdome references. How could I avoid this? Also, I absolutely love the signs in this level. They are amazing. Also, this guy. We were told about an undercover agent called Pineapple, and yes, this is him. I'm not even kidding. That is amazing. He went undercover in a universe full of robots by using googly eye, well, not googly eye, but the old glasses with nose and mustache attached thing. Seriously. I freaking love this game. So each level has its own unique elements to it, both in terms of hazards in the level, enemies, and of course unique aspects to actually traversing the levels. Like this Thunderdome area has the balloons, which literally show up nowhere else. They only show up here. Also these funny disappearing neon platform things. Like literally, if the platform's not lit up, then you're not getting across. But this only exists in this level to the best of my knowledge. I don't know, maybe the final level has it and I just haven't reached that point yet. It's possible. I'm not going to deny that. Alrighty, so we're moving on to the next one. Now we are in Gootopia, which I know sounds really freaking weird, but just bear with me. So, according to the game, this area has been invaded by goo creatures that are in fact not indigenous to this area. Granted, pretty much all the other forms of goo are indigenous, just not the ones that are moving around right now that I'm punching. Which means it's okay for me to punch them. The game says so. Oh, you might be wondering about the little orbs that keep getting dropped all over the place. Those are actually used to fill up my meter. And I can actually use the meter to do one of like 3 things. Either a long distance attack, an area of effect attack, or heal myself. Also, hold on a second. Get away from me! Stop it! Bad blob! Get away from me! Okay, well I suppose now's as good a time as any to show off how I heal. Yeah, like this. And you can see my meter's going down each time I heal myself. See? Feeling much better now. Now if I can just catch... Oh, okay, yeah, so this level has acid slime down there. So, gotta watch out for that. Come on, I got this. And hit him! Booyah! Ha 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 ha! Okay, so one of the cool things about this particular level that I like is that all the slime is kind of like a selectively permeable membrane. So I can kind of walk or run around on it, but I can also just slip down it to get to a lower or higher area, which is kind of neat. But hey, that's just my opinion. You might have a different opinion about that, just like I can kind of walk inside of the slime enemies, which is also cool. Also, these plant guys kind of annoy me, but not so much as, say, the balloons in the Thunderdome area did. I really just don't like the balloon level. Well, not balloon level, the balloon mechanic, I should say. Sorry about that. But yeah, I like traversing this level a lot. I just don't feel it has as much personality as the Thunderdome did. Like, I absolutely adored all those in-jokes and references on all the billboards and signs in that level. And I just feel like there's nothing quite on that level in this... Should have went with a different choice of words, level. Yeah, this place feels mostly desolate, which I guess kind of makes sense, because most of this area is uninhabited, at least by, you know, people or sentient creatures. This is like a remote outpost for field researchers from Rift. Woo! Okay, it's one of the crystal things. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Double Cross, a strangely upbeat Metroidvania-style game with some, frankly, amazing characters. Unfortunately, I had to cut a lot of the character interaction to avoid spoilers. Sorry. But the game's plot allows for a more diverse and wacky cast than most. I showed you the bit with Agent Pineapple, and you briefly got to see the Commissioner, who, by the way, in case you didn't figure it out, she's a mermaid. There are all kinds of other crazy characters. I rather like Sam, who's a Sasquatch, which apparently is a race that's quite adept at interdimensional travel, which might explain all the Sasquatch supposed sightings. Get it? See, they referenced a thing. I only showed about 2 out of the 3 starting levels you can choose from at the start of the game. I deliberately skipped the dinosaur one, but I love how each level is truly unique. No two are exactly alike. Do bear in mind that each area, dinosaur, goo, Thunderdome, etc., have 3 levels apiece, which are seemingly divided by difficulty rating. Usually one's easy, one's medium, one's hard, although some of them end up with 2 mediums and a hard. I haven't completely finished, but I imagine the last one might be all hards. Maybe, if I had to guess. I didn't exactly enjoy the level layout as much, but I still love all the references and in-jokes in the Thunderdome. I suppose my only real gripe with the game would be consistency of level design. While the ooze levels were better laid out than their counterparts in the Thunderdome, the areas found therein were pretty barren and empty, and that's merely one example. There are other levels that seem to have had far more love and attention lavished on them than others. I'm not sure why, but it does seem to be standard operating procedure for Metroidvanias to be serious and or dark. But this one was a surprising ray of sunshine. I also like the detective aspect where you collect evidence and get materials analyzed to try and close the case. I kinda wish more had been done with that aspect of the game, but I can also see why it wasn't. I mean, I guess you can't have too much adventure game in your Metroidvania, otherwise it would slow it down way too much. I had more material to show you guys, but unfortunately about half my gameplay footage was corrupted and couldn't be salvaged, so I did the best I could with what was left. For platforming and Metroidvania fans, this game's a pretty easy recommendation. There's tons more than what was shown here, not to mention all those fun levels to mess around with. And given its more lighthearted nature, this would probably be a pretty good game to introduce the younger crowd to Metroidvanias with. You know, don't start out with Castlevania. Start out with this one. Much easier transition. The game currently retails for about $20 and is available on PC and Nintendo Switch. If you're on the fence, then by all means wait for a sale. But if you're hard up for some Metroidvania goodness, then by all means pick this one up. And that's about all the time we got for this week, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed making it for you. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button for me. If you'd like to see more of my nonsense in the future, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be the first on your block to be notified when I upload any new content here on YouTube, hit that notification bell. And if you'd like some suggestions for other videos made by yours truly, then how about these? Over here, you can check out my review for Indie Pogo from last week. A very, very different take on the fighting game genre. And over here, you can check out my abridged Let's Play for Fortnitemares, the Halloween edition of Fortnite, which, yeah, that was an interesting video. Anywho, that does it for me this week, guys. This is Master RBG, signing off.